Hi Keystone students, Mrs. Roop here. I teach a few courses in the English classes. I wanted to take you along my journey for the trip that I just took. I just got back from Europe. It was 2 weeks, and we actually took our first cruise on part of our trip as well. So one of the places I started off, which you can see here in the picture, is I went to Paris. We actually got to Paris right before the Olympics started, so you can see those Olympic rings in the background. It was honestly a wonderful time to go. It was a little busy, and some of the streets were blocked off, but overall we were able to really experience Paris. You definitely have to have a delicious croissant and coffee there, hot chocolate. It was about as amazing as it looks. And then I did go to the Louvre, which was wonderful. A lot of the museums were still open, which was nice. And one of my favorite districts that I went to was the art district. It's called Montmartre. And that had like the Wall of Love. It had all of these really cool flower shops, markets to shop, and it had these beautiful churches that you could tour. And we took some guided tours. It was wonderful. It was a great experience. And then what you're seeing now is from Paris. We did go over to Italy. We went to Rome and Naples. And Naples is where we got on our cruise ship. So seeing the coast of Italy was breathtaking. One of my favorite things that I saw here in Naples was this castle. It was really interesting to see. We did the shopping, and this is my mother and I, who I took my trip with to celebrate her retirement. We saw one of the Parliament buildings there in Italy, and of course you can't go to Italy without having delicious pizza. It was the best pizza I have ever had in my entire life. It was well worth the travel. So from Italy, we went to first stop in Greece was Crete. This was a very cute town, a lot of interesting art, and we had tons and tons of cool tours that we could take. It was just a beautiful place, the colorful buildings, the architecture. And then from Crete, we actually left Greece for a little bit just to go for a day to Istanbul, Turkey. And in Istanbul, probably my favorite place that I visited was the Blue Mosque. This is one of, I think, their most well-known mosques. It's a pretty big tourist attraction as well. This is my mother and I outside of that mosque. But it was so interesting. We took a guided tour there to learn about the mosque, the practices, just seeing the accents in the mosque alone. It was such a great experience. Here's one of my blurry pictures where you can see my finger in the corner. I'm sorry for that. But it was really nice. It wasn't actually too busy over in Turkey. And then this was something that I was surprised on our tour that we took, but this was a water treatment. And look how beautiful in Turkey their water treatment is. I loved the portion of the statue that was actually one of the columns. I thought that was interesting. And so in Turkey, we also were able to take this tour where we learned about how rugs were made, and that was very interesting to view. And we also did go through the markets, and this is our tour guide right here, and he took us through all of the markets. It was really interesting. And then from Turkey, we went back to Greece. We went to one of my places I've always wanted to go, and that is Mykonos, Greece. I was really excited when I got this sign. I'm a huge little market shopper. I love little tchotchkes. So to not only see the beautiful buildings and architecture and the coast, but I did a lot of shopping in Greece. I found a lot of cool things, a lot of great jewelry, one-of-a-kind pieces. This is one of my favorite buildings that I saw, but seeing some of the ruins, and I loved how colorful everything was, and the coast itself was just wonderful. And the windmills was a huge attraction and something that I've always wanted to see in Greece, so that was fantastic. And then from Greece, we ended our trip in London. So one of the first places I wanted to go was the infamous Green Park, and it was a beautiful day to go. We did see all of the big attractions. I could not go to London without seeing Buckingham Palace. That is a must. But London was fantastic. It wasn't too crowded, and we just had a great experience. So thank you guys for going on this journey with me as I went through my European adventure. I hope you guys have a great semester. Bye.